How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and today, as you can see from the title, we're going over the breakdown along with Decklists for the CardMarket Webcam Regional that happened the Saturday just gone. So, from what I was able to gather, the event had 188 participants, which then fought out for a grueling 8 rounds to get to a final top 16 players for the event. All players, whether went XO, X1 or X2, they got in the top 16, and there was a huge variety in decks and leaders, which is nice to see. So if you just want to go and check the list without check the list itself, all the links to the DBS Deck Planet will be down in the little description below, so you can go check them out straight away if you want to then go on them, upload them to YouTube, no, not YouTube, the Untap, and then play them yourself. You're welcome to do so. If you want to just go for me for the breakdown and stuff, then feel free to keep watching. So with the list, so we had 16 decks at the top, and we had, as you can see now, 11 different leaders at top. So good, interesting thing as well. We got a leader of every color. So as you can see, there's one green and one blue it made it into, a few yellow, a few red, and a few black as well. So starting off, the majority of decks that made top of one leader was yellow trunks from set 16. Had the most number of representations in the top 16 with 4 of them. Then the next highest represented deck is Gogeta Zeno, a deck that even though it got hit by the ban list, it didn't really get hit because it just got a few toys taken away, but it's still all complete and still a strong deck. And then going after that, all the other decks are just one-offs, so it was only those 2 decks that had the same leader topping. So we have one Hatjack, which is quite an interesting one, because you don't normally see Hatjack in events because people play it more like a slow deck, and it managed to get 2nd overall, which we'll see soon. We also had Dark Broly as well, so Dark Broly is still doing well, even though it got hit twice to be hit quite hard to kind of be powered down from how strong it was before. It's still doing well. We got one King Cold as well, it made it in Top Cup. So really this is at this point is the only green deck that's really doing anything. Haven't seen in a while any other green deck really do well with top, apart from maybe the Broly Starter Deck leader, which seems to be more of an Asia meta kind of deck. It doesn't do too well outside of there, which it does really well over there because I think they're big fans of Broly. Then we have one of the U7 Goku doing well, topping. So we've seen a lot of that over the weekend of the fests. And then for the only blue deck, most people have been going on about since the start of the format, since the last ban list, how Soul Striker is the best blue leader, best blue deck. Why play anything else? We could play blue Soul Striker. And during the fest, we saw no Soul Strikers top, well in the UK at least. And for this event, a different Goku topped, which is the Super Saiyan God Crimson Goku from set 16. So that's one people kept thinking was going to be a replacement for Soul Striker. But I'm thinking Soul Strikers get banned because this card's been released and does almost the same as what that Soul Striker is meant to do. This topped instead of Soul Striker, and by a player who's also topped a few times before and is very prominent with their blue decks. Then we have one Control Sin, so we go get a Sin topping, but it wasn't the aggro Sin that we normally see. It was a Control Sin, which we'll see soon. And then the next 3 are all red leaders, being one King Piccolo, which we've been seen doing very as a prominent deck in the US, but over here it does still top, just not as prominent. There's a lot more variation in the EU, I find, when it comes to decks and leaders. Then we have one Caller Mill, still Mill deck, one of the, well, really the only true Mill deck still in the format since Android 18 got hit, but then it's one that requires a combo step. And then we have one red-green launch as well that made it. So that is it. So that's the breakdown. So 11 different leaders, which is nice to see. A lot of variation of things could top. Every single color topped as well, which is good. Even though there's there's only one green and one blue, and a majority more of the other colors. Still, it's nice to see that all the colors are still being represented. And so that is the top 16. Now we go to the lists and see what the lists are like for each, and make sure, just remember as well before we go any further that this was a best of one format, not best of one pre-side, best of one because the fests have only concluded here in Europe, or I think around the world as well, and Bandai will start using them as a test to see, like a testing the format on those, and it's too soon for them to be able to incorporate into anything else. But hopefully going forward, any online events, if they're best of one, would be best of one pre-side, but currently this one was best of one because it was right after the fests. So we'll start off with the first place. So that was Can, someone who's quite prominent in the EU scene and is a very good player, does quite well, and he managed to win going undefeated in Swiss best of one with yellow trunks. As you can see, quite a standard yellow list, going for the cell secret rare for the secret choice. And there's like secret rare is one of the things now in most decks that it's interesting to see which one they're running, because there's a lot of different secret rare. The more sets we get, the more secret rares we get, and it's nice to see what secret rare people choose. Secret identity for the Overrealm with 2 Poutine, and also main necking Forbidden Power as well. It's like the what's it called, the not the reboot, but the power creep of Nimbus in a sense. So quite a strong deck. So that is first place. Then we go to second place, which is David PEREZ, who I think was one of the two brothers that came first and second in the EU finals last year. He managed to come second, going 7-1 with Hatchek, and this is his build. Quite a few different techs. He was going for the Gogeta Forting, as long as the SS4 Gogeta. Main deck in the Dark Power, like I said, and also Mecha Kabura. So a lot of techs because it is best of one. And secret choice being the Kai, which is normally quite a strong one for Hatchek. Also incorporating some of the new cards like Realm of the Gods. The Black Realm of the Gods card for the removal and stuff, and also the SSG Trunks SR that allows you to play it back from Warp, because that way you mitigate, you keep a good hand size, and it's always nice to play for cards from different areas. It's quite strong, and even the Champa as well, so you can finish off with Double Strike. Pretty interesting and quite a cool list. And then going on to third place, we have Mert with his Dark Broly. So like Mert is just one of those players that is like we've seen before, a player who's been putting in a lot of work with a certain deck to get familiar with the, and like just get acquainted with how the deck works, putting together, knowing the how the interactions with the cards and also the matchups, and become very prominent in the deck. And he's just going to show that even if a card, just because a card gets hit quite hard on a ban list, it's by no means completely dead, which is what a lot of people thought when Dark Broly got hit with the 2 erratas. Because if you don't know what the erratas are, the leader now on the Awakened side can only use his Activate Battle, where he can use a 30k battle card from the battle area, or hand as a 5k power boost for the turn. That's only once per turn now, it used to be as many times you want. And all the Dark Broly 6 drops you see at the beginning all have now a 1 black cost on their activate main to play, and from drop by warping 6 ever black battle cards from your warp. So this is the list incorporating the Dark Brolys, that's same as usual, and then the Forting engine with the Overrealm 30ks because they tie in well with the Dark Broly, the Leader's effect, and also playing out for Forting. And as well as that, we also have quite a few different techs, Kai as well being a secret rare choice, and then quite a few, because it's best of one, Darkness Bastion, which is kind of like a bean for the deck, like giving it a 5k boost permanently for the turn. Then you got some good extra cards in like Protect the People to help against wide boards, Super Kamehameha because you can awaken yourself down to 4 by taking a life with the front side, Gravy to help put stuff back from warp to drop really consistently, even by playing it for 2 and attacking you can keep getting that use of it. And then Goku for a nice way to get Bull, the 4-star Bull, to keep using that to get extra 5k every turn for free. So quite a strong list, and just proving that he's very prominent with Dark Broly, and that is no way means dead. I think as well, Can and Merton as well as Mohammed, which we're going to see later, are all part of the same team, which used to be Team 9 Life, but are now called GCG, which is Germany's Card Gaming. So they've rebranded because they've Can said that Cider would have Can when I got his list, saying that they decided to instead change the name because I think it's Mohammed's store is called Germany's Card Game, and it's better to represent him as a friend as the name of a store rather than Team 9 Life was such a joke about an event previously. Yeah, good job with Merit for 3rd place, and just showing that Dark Brody's still around. Then we have 4th place, which is Javier Rosul playing Gogeta Zeno. So pretty standard with Gogeta Zeno, now incorporating the same as before. Well, instead of going for what a lot of people go for was the Mirror Unison, they're going for the Pycon Unison because it can power up the 1-drops. And then also have incorporating some of the new cards from the Realm of the Gods, being the SC Trunks, which you can play it from drop to help put some more aggression on, like give you more aggression and fill the drop back up so you can play some higher realm overrealms. Going with the standard of also playing the overrealm Goku Vegeta, because with 30k you can have overrealm or put back for the Unifusion with the Gogeta pieces and most of the Unifusion pieces, and even meaning as well because it's best of one, a Bardock, the promo Bardock, because that helps deal with a load of 6-drop or more battle cards, very good tech to use. And even some SS Bardock the Tenacious, because that gives you your opponent, puts effects on your opponent as like a flying Nimbus for the turn, so you can attack with battle cards once during the next turn. And the secret choice being Pan, because it's a fantastic secret rare, can be played for free defensively or offensively as a nice floodgate or just an extra 40k swing for nothing, especially in this deck. So congrats on Javier. And then we have 5th place, being a Never Gogeta Zeno with DAVIDE TASSONE, and he's running a little bit different, so there's not much difference. He's running the Mirror, as I said, like most people run the Mirror because of the fact that it's +1, it's just warp a card from your hand to your drop, draw a card, and that helps set up a play, like it makes it easier to set up plays for your Gogetas. And he's playing the same kind of 1-drops, the Kai is also a staple of it, 2 Champa, also playing the Trunks, also playing the Pan. I think he's just playing 1 less the Goku overall, and then a full 4 of each of the Gogetas. And then his extra card lineup being 4 Super Kamehameha, because you could awaken yourself down to 4 with your lead, so it's easy to get the 4 and have this live for free, or just so it's just live. And then 2 Petrification and 4 to support the Dark Empire. Petrification being a deck that normally in best of 3 you release in any black deck you've got main or sided, but most of the time in best of 3 it's sided, but in best of 1, since you don't have the access to sideboard, you will main it in any black deck, Petrification, because it's such a strong card. But once again, congrats to David for getting 5th place in the CardMarket Regional. And then for 6th place we have the King Cold player, being Boris, repping green with the King Cold and going for quite an aggressive list of King Cold as well. You can see he's got the field cards, he's got 4 of those Dark New Ruler and Display Onslaught, then only 2 of the Terrified Realization and 3 of the Unstoppable Invasion. Some people will go for more Realization than Invasion, but the Invasion is quite good in the fact that it's probably better than Invasion, because while Terrified Realization gets you a draw, as well as triggering the leader to draw, Unstoppable Invasion at least can give your leader 10k and double strike for the turn, get more aggressive plays. Then a standard Unison package of 4 Unison, 4 the Freezer, and also the Berry Blue to play off of Display Onslaught to help find your field cards with Unison and then replay them from the drop. And then as you can see it's more aggressive in the fact that he's played 4 of the 4-drop Freezer, which you can play off at Onslaught if you meet the criteria of just having 4 field cards combined on field and drop. And because it then becomes a 20k dual attacker, and with Terrified Realization on board it becomes a 25k. The Golden Freezer here for barrier removal being good pressure, just like with the 4-drop, with Realization on board being a 30k dual attacker because he's got his activate main, which not only restands the swing again at double strike as well, 30k, but also rips a card from your opponent's hand which you choose and removes anything through barrier on your opponent's board. Then you got Zamasu to make use of these freezers, and a secret rare choice being the Boo, because this is a great one for if you swing with your Unison to get that -3 effect off, and your opponent wants to negate it. You can usually stop it with this, giving yourself a 40k double striker, and making sure the King Vegeta Unison goes through to go for that -3 to make it itself, in most of the time, because it gets 5k boost for all field cards, makes itself a 40k triple striker to try and finish off games. And since this is once again best of 1, he's got main decked Koitsukai, and overall my choice being Bardock. The next extra cards being the free the playset for Raw Supremacy, being a very good free counter play, counter attack, negate attack, and actually kill some things. Homicide clones is basically the set of negates now that are power crept out the old sparking ones, well, for anything that isn't blue, and dormant as a way to help survive survive turns easier. And since this deck can build quite a big hand, it's not too bad. But congrats to Boris for getting the 6th. And I think from this way forward, I think this was the last person who went 7-1. I think from going on now, from 7th to 16th, they're all 6-2 for the records. So for 7th place we have Axel Bell from the UK, who's someone who's done pretty well previously in CardMarket events and in UK. A very strong player, very good one, probably one of the best as well, I would say. And he was playing Yellow Trunks as well, go for a little bit different than Can and yeah, just Can's books. That's the only we've seen so far. He's going for a mix of the super combos, having one Zamasu with the free Krillin. Also playing the Slug Patch because it's a very strong package. Only going for three of the 1-drops because all you need to see is 1 in your opening hand and in your set, really, most of the time. Well, any time really, because you won't get the other, and you only put the Vegeta under your leader, and the Trunks should keep bringing out the U's to bring out more Vegetas and allow you to get these Trunks out. Also Bulma to help try and find the cards, make it a little bit easier to see them. And because he's running a larger deck, being 54 cards, he only got 3 Mecha, 3 Goku, 1 Cooler, because you can draw quite a lot of cards in this, and 3 Turtles along with the 1 Bergamo. And just like Can, he was running the Cell Zero Secret Rare, because you can build up quite enough boards to get to 12 and then drop this. Because if you get early, you can drop this for a big finish at 40k. It doesn't have quad strike, but still a 40k swing when you put it down to 1, or 40k swing. The swing of it and champ it is still big, and if you get the later turns, you're getting the full effect off of it. And then for some nice barrier removal, he's attacking the Son Goku, Son Gohan, and Videl. As if your leader card's yellow, you can pay 1 yellow to choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards of 5 through barrier at 5k and minus them by 5k. Well, not by that are 5k, but minus 2 cards through barrier that are that by 5k. And then only 1 Poutine and Bardock for the Overrealm, and then the standard extra cards also taking at 2 magic, time magic, which are really good against deck leaders or cards that have multiple swings like dual attack, triple attack. Keeps them negates attack, keeps them tapped down then, so they can't attack anymore, which is very, very useful against things like U7 Goku. So once again, congrats to Axel for getting 7th. Then for 8th place we have Mohammed, who is also a member of Team GCG. And from what Can said when I got the list off of him, the only difference, he's got the exact same list as Can, but the only difference being that he was running the Bardock Overrealm instead of the Secret Identity Overrealm. So once again, a team deck, just one slight difference. So congrats to Mohammed for getting 8th place. Now we're getting to the other half, so starting with 9th, we got our U7 deck that made it into the top cut, being piloted by Jose Pontes, and this is the build he's going for. So the units of choice being also going for the 3 specified unison instead of the 2 that some people go for, but I know the 3 specified cost unisons are more prominent, and he went for the Jiren and the Videl, a full 4 of, and along with King Piccolo, that's normally what you get with the unison package. You get that as well for red. He's also got a full 3 of the Vegeta, because these are just a very, very strong counterplay, stopping anything that's 15k or less for coming on board once you hit turn 3, and you can easily get turn 3 in this deck, and because you can live quite far. And then a standard of 4 of mostly all the U7s that were brand new from the set, apart from just 2 Kai Kings, that's the barrier removal, and the 1-drop. So he's got a place of each 1-drop for his turn 1 play, and then the other ones that are very strong just to keep that U7 count up. But then for a secret rare, which is what I've been seeing sometimes, some people will go for the Vegeta secret rare for the choice, and you get other people that are then going for the SS4 Broly, which is what Jose went for, because if you don't know, you can drop this Goku turn once you get 4 energy, drop this, wipe their board, not ignoring barrier by minusing it by 35k. Get 2 swings in with at least 1 if you've got 20 cards, at least 20 cards in your drop. Choose a card from the hand that's 7 or less. Any card, be it unison, extra, or battle card, and ripping it from the hand. And then after it's swung, you can then sack it off because it's a 35k Saiyan to play this Broly, which then gives your leader a 10k boost for until the start of your turn, and also turns down the combo power and actual power of your opponent's battle cards by 5k. So if they've got any 5k combo powers in hand, they're all 0, which means they can't really combo anything, can't combo on attacks. And this is a 40k double striker, and with barrier, meaning it's hard to interact with. And then for extra cards, the two violent rays, 2 testing, and a full place of after image technique, because this deck can awaken at high life. So after image technique means you can use this for free and not worry about your life being too low. Raise is a great red card and testing option. If you get on low enough, is once again one of those negates that outclass a sparking, because you don't normally see after image in anything apart from this deck really at the moment. But congrats to Jose for topping and 9th place. Then for 10th place we have our only blue deck that made it, and piloted by Christelle Mond, who was also top 16 one of the some ever events before as well. Normally she plays the Soul Striker, doing quite well with that, normally going for the red blue. But here is her list for the Son Gohan Crimson Goku, Crimson Saiyan, or whatever it's called on the front side. I'll double check actually. What's it called? So it's the SSG Son Goku Crimson Warrior. So this is her list. She piloted all the way up to 10th place, going 6-2 in the regional. And as you can see, it's a very strong deck, because you can put any, because the effect is that if you're a leader card, if this card is in battle, you choose one Saiyan card in your hand, discard it. You draw a card, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and get your skill for the battle. So it's a bit like Hercules, but you're like drawing every time you combo. But then not when you combo, you're just discarding a Saiyan, the draw card, and potentially take a life if you want to. So you can, and then when your life's at 2 or less, or you place 5 Saiyan cards under this card, which you can do for 5 attacks, or 5 times the leader is in combat. You then draw 3, untap 1, and flip over. So you got like that kind of surge awakening, which is pretty cool, and incorporating kind of like the remnants of what Android 18 kind of did with the using Frieza and the Rebirth Justice. So this is the list. I know a lot of people would ask for the list, but if you want actually in-depth explanation about the list, the card choices, the reason she played it, then feel free to go into the comment section below and check out the link which takes you to Deck Planet, who have done are doing an interview, or either doing or done an interview with her, so you can check out that and hear from her perspective about the deck to learn a bit more. And also while you're at it, subscribe to DBS Deck Planet's YouTube, because they're the best and only deck builder in Dragon Ball Super, and a great deck builder because of the fact they are always improving it, adding features, making it better for us. Like they've now got a way to import decks and untap tests, and even print off save spread like a deck list, so you don't have to write all more out. You can just print them off and have them ready for events. Great deck builder, so check them out. And then we're going to go to 10th place, which we have Lewis, who is another person who's topped a few CardMarket events before as well. I think he might have even had an interview on his channel, can't remember. I've interviewed quite a few people from the CardMarket events, and he was the one playing the Control Sin. So this is the list for Control Sin, going with the 9-drop Sin list, also going a 3-1 split of the 4-drop Sin and the promo one, because just promo one's quite nice in the fact that if your opponent tries to counterplay it, this one has to flex, so it'd be unaffected by the counterplay skill. Only counterplay that doesn't really worry about the flex is Frieza. Then you're normally going to not play that Frieza, go for the 4-drop. And then all the standard of the Sin ones with 2 Oceana as well to help respond. And he's also playing one of the 4-drop Sin Zeno, the 4-drop one, because this is one that gives you a bit of mill on this, so like taking markers off your unison once you've got it out to help you awake, which you're going to use to help awaken, and be able to bring this out with the lead. Has barrier and deflect, double strike and blocker, so it restands the block at the end of the turn, and double strike pressure as well, 20k. And as I said, can use its Spirit Boost one to restand it to block multiple swings, and also mill your opponent slowly. It has that alternative if your opponent's going to get slow games. Then including that, 4 mecha, 2 of the Goku, and then like some people have been doing, a 3-1 split with Krillin and Zamasu. Only 3 of the mecha, which maybe is an interesting choice. And then the standard extra cards of the Powder Super Saiyan, 4 Dragon Thunder, which is a great one. You can play it as a free bean, which is great for defense as well, because you can play it for free if you once you've got free tap down energy, once you get the free energy, and gives you a 5k boost for the turn, so it's like a bean, and if you pay energy for it, it can negate the skills and something, which is quite cool. And then Secret Choice being Cell Zeno, and only one of the 8-drop Triple Striker, just in case you need a pressure. So that is 11th. Now for 12th we have the King Piccolo deck, piloted by Enzar, and yeah, there's not much to say about this, quite standard. Is playing Topo though, like most red decks are playing now. They're playing the Vegeta in either a capacity between 1 to 3, going for 2 copies of it, 2 Topo as well to help with defense, because once again it's best of 1 no side deck. The split of the super combos being 3 of the Piccolo and 1 Whis, because it could be variety. And the secret rare and overall being SS4 Bardock and Pan, which is standard for most that I've seen for most Piccolo decks, and standard would also with the archetype as well. Also having 2 of the promo First Steps to Revival, so you can combo from life to go down. You can combo from life if you've already used the leader's effect. And then on the extra cards, 2 Frieza's Death Ball, 3 Violent Rays, 3 Top Destiny Opposition for a lot of defense, because you don't really use much energy to play things in this deck, because you're playing things for free, and Max Kamehameha for negate you can reuse as well, and also remove all things that are played large in energy when as well, just nice removal. So that is 12th. For 13th we have another Yellow Trunks in the form of Alfredo's deck, Alfredo Rodriguez. So he's once again also gone for the Cell Zeno secret rare, but he's one of the few that is maining the Vegeta Unison, which is a good unison that helps deal with things, because a lot of things now a lot of decks are playing things that are higher in energy, well most decks are, and it's a nice one to help make it so they can't attack with them unless they remove this. And if they're playing lots of mainly big things that are more than energy, they're not really having anything that can attack this to get rid of it. And you can wrap up the mark, you can keep quite a few markers on it and protect it quite easily with yellow. He's running 1 Secret Identity and 1 Bardock, so he's got that choice for his overall. And then extra cards, only 1 Vegeta's Final Flash, which is interesting, and 1 Nimbus instead of the Forbidden Power, which is what most people seem to be running Forbidden Power, because it's got that extra utility as well. And a full play set of Black Kamehameha, which is interesting, and only 1 of the 8-drop, which I haven't seen people play only 1 since Joe's List, which used to win the London Game Fest. And then yeah, with 2 Basil and 2 Cola as well. Then for 14th place we have Dav Taylor, who is like the aggro king of the UK. Once again, another very strong UK player, and also a recent new member of the Distinct Few, which is a UK Dragon Ball team. Basically under the leadership of My Wife 8 Games. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. I think he's been quite quiet with his YouTube channel, but he's still got a very strong team. And an interesting list from Dav. He's playing the mirror, like I said, most people play. For most decks that are play Gogeta Zeno play, they mostly play the mirror over the Pycon, because it adds that extra draw and setup for to set up the Gogetas easier. And he's running a little bit different. He's running a lot more of the 1-drop Goku and Vegetas. Like he's running 3 of the 1-drop ever 1-drop Goku that's unique, and also 1 of the Vegeta. He's also running the Trunks Time Regulator, which a lot of people haven't started just kind of dropped playing. After, like, I would have thought that after the ban of the Ever Trunks back from the Black Starter deck from years and years ago, people would switch to this one as the overall choice, because it's overall free, so it's easy to put a Goku, Vegeta, and a Kai from your overall nose from your drop, because it only needs 3, and then draw 2 and warp 1 to help set up things and draw for your deck quicker. But most people would drop this like 3 drops entirely and just gone for the 5s and 6s stuff. But I'm still rocking the time regulator, it's still really good overall. Also playing 2 of the Trunks battle card, and he isn't going for a mix and mash of the overall Goku and Vegeta that are 30k. He's just going for 3 of the 30k Goku, because that can grab you overall and grab you back your overall cards like the Bardock, overall, and any of the Gogetas. And he's also playing 1 of the Fighting Against Fate in his decks. His dual attacking 25k is strong, and also 1 Mirror Creator Absorb, which is something not a card you see nowadays. A lot of people drop this card, even though it used to be busted back in the day. And also with the because with the Kai, is almost like impossible to combo out of it when it swings most of the time, because it gets a 5k power for every card. It gets 5k power for the turn for every card in your warp when it swings, which you can amass a huge amount in this deck. And then the same kind of extra cards as most have been running: 2 super combo power, 2 petrification, and 2 Spot Dark Empire. So congrats Jab on getting into the Distant Queue and for making 4th place. Then for 15th place we have ARIO with the Cooler Mill deck. So this is interesting. This is very interesting in the Cooler Mill, because most Cooler Mill I've seen before, they've been running either the Jiren Unison or the Sin Unison as a way to get minusing from that effect to help mill with the leader, and also be helping out giving access to the Videl as well, because that's a very strong, it gets around deflect. It's a like counterplay like Yamcha, but gets around deflect and hits 2 things for a lot more, for 20k instead of 15. And also it's harder to take down a 3-drop Unison, but instead he's gone for as his main one being the Piccolo one, and then maining 1 Vegeta, which is a very strong Unison for red decks that most people would side, I imagine, if the red deck's going longer, because it can, with its -2, lock out your opponent from being playthings by skills, which is a big thing nowadays that most decks really do. And then for his multicolored cards, he's got the still standard of the playset of Boo and Hercule, Cooler, and Beerus for the arrival package of Cooler the Mill, and only running 1 of the promo Cooler, which is understandable because it's costly, but only 1 of the Mecha Freezer Checkland, which most decks run a few more copies because it helps after turn 1 charging multicolors virtual. But I imagine with this deck, I imagine he's thinking that once he's got 1 multicolor energy, that's enough, because he can then use Beam to untap tap it down the multicolor, untap 2 red, and then have that multicolor rested then to untap with the Beerus to when they use it for arrival. Because the only thing that requires blue in here is the Cooler and the Boo Hercule. That's the only one, well, and the Rally Bender as well. And just interesting enough is running the 1 Gohan, the Avenger Negate, because that's like a negate that also minuses as well. Minuses to a leader as well. Only 1 Kunchi as well. Only 2 combo attack Cooler, and also he's running the 1 Reality Bender Chinimba. So just double check what this deck card does. So if your opponent has 4 more energy and there are battle cards in your opponent's battle area and there are no cards in your battle area, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3. And at the end of your turn, place this in the bottom of your deck and place 2 cards from top of your opponent's deck in the drop area. So this is interesting because you don't always have a board with Cooler. Like, you don't always amass a board. So if you get to a point where you can get this out and you don't have a board, you can just drop this. If it's Wise's turn, you're then milling your opponent 2, putting this back at the bottom of your deck, so you can increase the size of your deck. And it's quite interesting play because it's only going to be 1 cost because it's permanent, so that's quite cool. And secret choice being the Vegeta, as you can play it under for 4, minus your opponent's leader, which I'm not sure if that gives you a mill. No, because his opponent's battle cards. And then you can just wipe your opponent's board, including Unison, or even threaten a lot as well, which is quite cool. And then with the extra cards being 4 beam to help give you enough energy to rival and stuff, and then a load of extra cards that either help protect your turn or minus your opponent's cards to help mill. So congrats ARIO for making top 16 with Cooler. And for the last deck, for 16th place, we have Max Fox with Launch. So it's I think it's the same list he used in the Fest event, which is also added to the, well, very recently after he sent it to me, added to the Fest breakdown. And yeah, so he was playing Launch with the red-green version. As you see, quite most of the standard stuff in quite a lot of value of this, because you got the full playsets of Bowman Launch plus 3 of the promo as a ways to help you flip over to draw for your deck quicker, and also just keep getting the draw. You can flip over once a turn and then draw when you do so. So you keep flipping back and forth. And on your wicked side, you can swing in minus 5k, I think, on the swing. There are a few green cards that help, so Trunks to help make the Piccolo Jr. alive. Hasty Dispatch, be able to bring out these 1-drops for free, 1 drop if you've got no board. Urgent Aid is as a Nevergreen card as well, and is searchable with the Assimilate, I think. Just double check. I think it's a searchable Assimilate. Yeah, 2 or less. So yeah, you can search out for Urgent Aid, which is a cantrip, and also helpful against people that play untap energy on their turn. That's not a Awaken skill, so like to help deal with things like blue. And then just a lot of combo power, a lot of strong combo power. Good cards like Vegeta Resolve Renewed, which is like every red deck's running this. Also 1 copy of the Goku Pure Hearted, so this is if you lead a card as a Red Earthling, you place 1 card from your life in your drop area, then add 1 card from your life to your hand. So you can take life you amend life if you want to. When it attacks a battle card, deal 1 damage to your opponents. This could be a way to finish off if your opponent's at 1 life, and it's got Deflect, meaning it's going to be hard to remove by any counterplay unless the skill is in the auto to remove it. And then 2 overwhelms in the Secret Identity and Bardock, so you got a utility either board control or aggression, and Pan is a very good one because you can mass a board quite easily with this. And then for the bottom text, you got Assimilate to search out the Eradicator, Piccolo, or the Urgent Aid. 2 Broly, which is a very strong card to get a sneaky peek look at the hand, and Divine Presence being a very good card offensively or defensively, depending on how you want it. So congrats Max, and that is the whole top 16 with complete lists. So once again, if you want to check out any of the lists and you want to test them out on untap or anything like that, you can feel free to get down below where the lists are and then import them to untap. And also, yeah, that's it really. So thank you for watching. Hope you liked that. I was able to get all the lists and for the card market to give you, so you can see what the EU meta is like and then see what the lists are like as well, and then test them out for yourself. And just remember, you can feel free to like the video if you enjoyed this and like that I was able to bring this to you. Subscribe if you want to keep updated with my videos as when they drop. I try to cover any event that's in the UK or EU and make sure because we don't see enough of the EU and UK meta about what events happen, what the lists are used and stuff like that. So I want to try and bring that up as quickly as possible, as much as possible whenever there's events for the EU and UK, so we can see the UK meta, because we're only really, well, and EU meta, because we normally only see the US stuff, which we need to put ourselves on the map. And also, if you do subscribe, you can click the little bell to get alerts for when my videos do drop, and also it helps me get to a goal of 1,000 subs, which are currently just over a quarter way there. And lastly, comment down below if there's any videos you want to, anything you want to see, anything I got run, anything you want to see, or if you want to see a interview with any particular person, or any of these lists you want to interview with the person, like or anybody on here, then feel free to comment down below. And if you want to interview with one of the people, interview one of the people to go over the list, I'll be happy to try and do that. Most people are happy with coming on for interviews, so I can get that done. And once again, if you want to check out the SSG Goku, the Crimson Warrior profile, check out the description below where they got the link to Deck Planet's interview with the player, so you can check out more information about the deck, of how to run it, and a full in-depth from the player themselves. Once again, thank you for watching, and see you next one. Bye for now.